Morning. I'd like to say a word about our government. Of course, I'm going to do 3 things that we should be dismayed about, but I'll also give you what we should be hopeful about, because there is pushback. So, what are the 3 things? Deportations in this country are not getting just the criminals, and we should be on the alert. You never know when a country decides to go rogue, like this country has gone. People get swept up, but are they really criminals? You gotta ask yourself, are they really criminals? Did we have the right to deport 250 Venezuelans to El Salvador? Well, as the judge says, we didn't have that right. Certainly, Donald Trump doesn't have that right. They're required to have judicial process and review, and they had none of that. And I understand from my friends who have gone back to the Philippines within the last month and returned. 2 of their friends were detained. One had dual citizenship. He didn't carry both passports with him and his identification. People had to go back to his home, get entrance to his house, and have him cleared to actually board the plane for the Philippines. He was a citizen of both America and the Philippines. He carried dual citizenship. Why did they go after him? They also went after an old woman, an aunt of one of my friends, who carried a green card in this country for probably 40, 50 years. So it makes you think, are they going after citizens, or are they just going after people of color? And will it be us next? We gotta be wary, and I'm glad that Judge Boasberg is on the case, because he's pushing back, and he's not scared at all, and he's not intimidated by this government. He's also taking on the Signalgate case, the Signal chat room. It's been all over the news. It really did happen. On the Signal chat room, they invited Jeffrey Goldberg, who is the editor-in-chief of the Atlantic magazine, a well-respected magazine, into their chats on the upcoming bombing of the Houthis. They may be making light of it in Trump's administration, but the guys on the ground can't be too happy. Anyone who is listening, and anyone could be listening, since Witkoff was talking to us through Russia, their positions were outed. We don't know who's on the ground near the Houthis. We don't know what all our intelligence consists of. But you better believe American lives were in jeopardy. This Signal chat room occurred 2-3 hours before the eventual attack. That's not right to do to American soldiers or anyone in the DOD or the CIA. As it is, the Five Eyes Intelligence Service, which is Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and us, they don't know if they can rely on us as partners anymore. And that is in jeopardy as well. Sharing secrets is in jeopardy because this administration has a habit of leaking secrets. And since we've shown our disdain for the Europeans, for the UK, for Canada, do they want to share secrets with us anymore, knowing that it's going directly to Putin? I don't think so. So it's something to be concerned about. And the last thing is health, education, Social Security. All of our safety net is in danger. Of course, it's going to be litigated, But already, because of Doge tampering, we're having outages on the Social Security platform. That's not right, folks, because people depend upon their Social Security check. Unlike what others have said, Social Security, I know, to many of my friends, is their only check. They rely on that check and Meals on Wheels. Otherwise, they don't eat. And I know that for a fact. So, no use going after our Social Security and our health care unless you just really want to kill off the population slowly. So, those are my 3 reasons of dismay about this government. What makes me hopeful? There's pushback, a lot of pushback. Trump's polls are going down. Same for Vance, same for Musk, and I'm sure fairly shortly, same for Mike Johnson. Nobody's going to support him when he is so heavily embedded with this administration and's talking about getting rid of judges. You're not taking away our checks and balances so fast. In fact, I think that Justice Roberts gave them a stern warning, a rebuke that, no, you don't go after the third branch of government. So I think that's hopeful. The other thing that's hopeful, there's now been an overturn in Pennsylvania where one of the seats that was normally Republican went to a Democrat. So folks aren't happy, nor should we be. And there are more than the 3 or 4 reasons that I mentioned. But again, there's pushback, and we see it in new legislative openings. And the next reason to be hopeful, on April 5th, there's going to be a massive rally across the country, one in Washington, D.C., and several others. All you have to do is look at your local newspaper or go to my WordPress site, The Voice of Joyce, look up Robert Reich, press the button that says Protest Here, and you'll find out where the protests are occurring in your neighborhood. So, there's reasons to be hopeful. It's 2 months, and it's 2 months too much. I can't see the end of Donald Trump and this regime fast enough. I know he's bringing change, and I know people wanted change, but we want change for the better. Not the worse, for the better. When I talk about breaking things, I talk about integration of new ideas that benefit us, we the people, not the oligarchs. Bye now.